And now we return to the announcements at the PAP Convention on Sunday, where Prime Minister Lawrence Wong warned of high stakes at the next general election for the ruling People's Action Party. He said that even without a large swing in votes, the opposition could form the next government. He pledged to lead a refreshed PAP to the polls. Now, for more insights, I'm joined by Dr. Gillian Koh, who is Senior Research Fellow at the Institute of Policy Studies. Now, Dr. Koh, let's take another look at this refresh that PM Wong is leading. Was the focus on this narrative noteworthy to you? And how much change is too much?
Well, I think there was quite a lot of focus on the GE, of course, and that refresh of the party. I think, you've already spelled out what was the imperative that PM Wong was really thinking about, which was that if there was a modest swing in support for the PAP, or rather against it, then, it'd be in a difficult situation where you'd have a weaker government in the midst of a situation where you see that, the global economy and geopolitics are in a state of flux. And understandably, this is when you need people to rally together. And if you have a less than strong government, then are you able as government to really be able to bring on the solutions that people are looking for? So I think that's key. And he issued a really strong rallying cry to the party faithful to come out in front, to work the ground campaign hard and earn a decisive mandate to govern, because for those reasons spelled out, the stakes are high.
Now let's zoom in on that comment, coming out in front by engaging citizens and also explaining these policies. How does the PAP do that without duplicating the efforts by the government?
Well, you see, most of the previous rounds of campaigns, or the last few, you got the sense that it was government leaders of the PAP, who are also government leaders, leading really the charge, right? They were there to direct and deliver, key messages. So I think what is going to be different in terms of getting party members, cadre, and people on the ground, the boots on the ground, to go out there and explain policies, mobilize citizens for the causes that they are concerned in, that the party believes need to be addressed. And so I think that's the first difference. It's empowering the people on the ground to go out there and be more competitive in their approach. In other words, they can be as blunt as they want to as party faithful, spelling out what the party stands for, how that translates into government policy, and how that is different from what the opposition parties are offering. So that's possible when the party faithful go out. They can be as partisan as they like, if you want to put it that way. But I think there are two other things that, PAP members can do if they're going to go out there, out in front, which is first, they can run ahead of the curve of government, which takes not so long compared to other countries, but still a while to get around to grappling with key issues, key concerns. So they can quickly, address those points. And next, they can actually do things about it. The PAP as a party can have its own programs to address what are the issues on the ground, even pilot solutions that eventually government can consider. And we've seen this, right, in, for instance, various constituencies where there are transport problems which are difficult to be addressed by the main transport companies, that the PAP, if it has the resources and people and organization now, can put those solutions together. So I think those are some of the key ways in which, the party can do something distinct, different from the government, though completely aligned in terms of, I guess, the values and the governance frameworks.
And, PM Wong didn't just address existing party members. He also made a pitch to potential new candidates, especially potential office holders, to join his team ahead of the general election. Now, Dr. Koh, does it surprise you that the list has not yet been confirmed with the general election coming?
I'm not sure we're expecting the GE quite so soon, although it'll probably be held next year. So I think Deputy Secretary General Wong at the party conference was at pains to say that he's continuing to meet possible candidates and to recruit them in time for the GE. And remember, it's entirely his prerogative, that of his party, to pick the right time when they are really ready. But the challenge is this, that he said that most people he'd like to reach out to and have on his rolls are comfortable where they are. So he has a hard time convincing them to put themselves forward to serve the country as not just PAP leaders, but obviously in government. And I think that is a challenge. The PAP leaders always have this dictum that if good people don't serve in politics, bad people will. So I think they're going to try and convince as many as possible about that. But we also have to recognize that in recent times, there have been controversies which actually have taken a bit of the shine off the PAP brand. So with the speech that he made, with the kind of vibe that the PAP conference sort of put out, I think they're trying to really reinforce the fact that they are coming back to basics. They're smart, they're serious-minded, they're the party that's clean, caring, and connected, especially with that emphasis on putting the party out there in front. So strengthening the party brand is going to probably help market it to prospective candidates. And yes, it's entirely up to, of course, Mr. Wong and his team to decide when's the best time, when they have their ducks in a row, certainly in terms of the best candidates that they can field.
Dr. Koh, thank you so much for sharing your insights with us, and thank you for joining us today. That was Dr. Gillian Koh, who is Senior Research Fellow at IPS.